Good morning, YouTube. Lads and ladies, I suppose this is more of an introductory video to myself. Basically, I have started up this is video one. My name is Mike Rosney. I'm from Ireland, a small town in Tipperary, living up in the Big Smoke. If some of you Irish know, you know, otherwise known as Dublin. I'm basically coming on here, created my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be documenting my journey through prep, through bodybuilding, and basically my show, build up, my diet, everything got to do with day-to-day living and how to actually live the life of a bodybuilder. And I have done for so many years, but I never anticipated stepping on stage, and it was something that my own wife kind of promoted and made me realize that I have the talent, I have potential, I suppose, to actually be something more than just, living the lifestyle. And I suppose I'm not the biggest, I'm not the greatest, but I train damn hard. I live the lifestyle very well. I eat regimentedly. I'm coached by Superman, like he's fantastic. And I have had previous coaches as well who have done a fantastic job with me. And I have responded so well to them. But I suppose somebody that understands you and can meet you now and again and be there in person is nice too. But I do really love this lifestyle. And basically it'll be all full days of eating. It'll be literally the highs and lows, when I feel like shit, when I feel great, when mood is not great, when energy is low, when I don't want to train, etc., etc. You know the drill. And I suppose the reach that I'm reaching out to is, suppose, people that are into this lifestyle and people that understand what it takes and what it feels like to be a bodybuilder. There's a lot of great Irish bodybuilders there. I follow so many of them on YouTube, so I'll be following a similar style of videos. I am a personal trainer, I'm an online coach, and I really hope to be able to expand my knowledge. I'm always learning, I'm always invested in myself to be better, to get the courses, get everything in order, to have top clients, people that I work with, whether it be a lifestyle client or a bodybuilding client. I know what it takes to eat the same foods every day, be literally Groundhog Day. And that's what it is for me. But I love this lifestyle. I have a small circle of friends. I don't really have that many. But again, that's why I come on here as well. My own wife is my best friend. I'm my biggest supporter, and then I have my coach, and then my parents and my in-laws and outlaws and all the laws, and they are all fantastic people, and I couldn't do it without them. But it's something then that I can come on here and have a chat with people, and if they want to drop comments, they can. If they want to ask questions, they can. If they want to inquire for coaching, they can. I have spaces open all the time. I give my heart and soul to being an online coach. I'm not the biggest, I'm not the best in terms of my reputation, because I'm only growing, not because I have a bad reputation. It's just something that I am trying to grow. And of course, if people trust in me, then my reputation will grow, because they will see that the work I put in and the work that they put in return, they will get that back out. But myself then, as I said, I'm an online coach, I'm a personal trainer, but I've had multiple different jobs. I've lived different lifestyles. I've worked in hospitality, I've worked in construction sites, I've worked in gyms, I still work on the gym floor part-time, doing in-person personal training as well. But mainly I do online coaching now. And again, it's a fantastic job. I've never been so happy in my whole life with a career. I have had other different jobs, as I said. I was, obviously, for anybody that's not outside, that is outside of Ireland, Garda. I have been a Garda, which is, in other words, I have been a policeman. And I have worked in that for multiple years. When times were tough during the COVID times, etc. But I always stuck with something that I loved, and that was health and fitness. And then, I suppose, working with different coaches for my own journey, I started learning I started learning exactly what it meant to maybe bodybuild and what it meant to live that lifestyle. And I started falling in love with it more, and then I started watching YouTube videos, and then I started seeing the other aspects, and then I invested in myself to expand my knowledge more, and then I got certified, I got my personal training, I got my coaching courses. I'm always looking to expand. There's multiple different ways I can do so, whether that be through extra nutrition courses and things like that, and that's what I want to do. I'm a big believer of that, and I love learning off other people as well. I ask loads of questions, and I just want to be able to give that back to people as well. But like when it comes to my own journey, I'm literally training 10, 12 years now. I'm 29 years old. I have been quite heavy. I have been out of shape. I've never always went to the gym. But the last 6 years, 7 years, I've fully immersed myself in it. And it's been the best thing that I've ever done. It's become my lifestyle. It's become my hobby, my main interest outside of my personal life. And I suppose that is my personal life. It's my job and my personal life. And I love it. I can't stress how much I train hard. There will be training videos up, and I will be able to give people an insight into my life as well. As I said, I'm 29. I'm still quite young, and then I have weaknesses, and I suppose my weaknesses is my upper body when it comes to training. I have decent enough lower body, and so I've been told. I always think that I look smaller than I am, and I suppose we all do as bodybuilders. We all have the worst body dysmorphia, and we can say one day we look amazing and ripped and shredded, and the next day we aren't holding on to condition whatsoever, and we could be 2-3 weeks out from finishing a diet phase, or in some cases stepping on stage. Excuse me. And then I just, as I said, Santa Claus was good to me. I looked for a DJI Osmo, and it returned itself, and I'm just so happy about that, because it's not all the time I get to share a passion with people. There's not that many in my social circle that I can share the love of bodybuilding with, and this was coming on here and allowing people to see another person that's bodybuilding, because there's so many out there. You think of the top pros, you think of right down top IFBB pros, right, Samson, Derek, right down to the likes of, so we go into classic. We have C-Bum, obviously. He's even sharing some of his personal life again, with his family and how he's doing things. Then we, Terence Ruff, and we have all those guys. Then we go down again, and we have the likes of Cooper Chellin. We have, there's so many. John Jewett, and John Jewett is a fountain of knowledge. Cooper Chellin is a fountain of knowledge too. There is obviously some things that I'm not sure on with Kuba, but obviously that's he can justify everything that he explains, and I love hearing that, and I love when he's able to do that. So top work to him and all the pros that are out there, that are spreading their knowledge, that are spreading their day-to-day lives and just vlogging away. Jordan Hutchins was another one that is, he's cares for his family, but he trains hard and he has goals as well. Excuse me. Then right down into top amateurs. We have even when we don't have to leave the country. My own coach is Conor McGee. I don't know, maybe some of you know him as the Irish Juggernaut here on YouTube. He is my coach, and he suppose we haven't worked together overly long. I recently made the change to Conor about 4 or 5 months ago, but 3 months ago even. And we are working together. We're working hard. And at the minute I am in my off season, and we are working together on preparing for our PCA first timer show in April 26th. So that's the goal, and big shout out to him. When we're talking about Irish coaches, Irish bodybuilders, Mark Hudson, Dara McNamara, fellow tipman. Mark is obviously out in Dubai, Dara's out in UK. They're all smashing it. And then Conor is here in Ireland as well, and he's smashing it with his own goals, his own personal life and training as well. So it's all top work to them boys. Then, we have the likes of Joe again. I'm literally naming out everybody that you're probably watching already. And I hope you do discover my page, because, I'm adding another face to the bodybuilding world. And where I'm literally starting my journey. I was watching this maybe this time last year as the likes of Ben Rogers and David Massey, they started their journeys in terms of they're going on stage for the first time. Obviously last year in September I got married, so I was more than happy to get married first, and then obviously I kept training and kept my off season going. But obviously the goal then was to step on stage for first timers in 2026, and that is literally what we're doing. So all those guys have, I'm constantly watching them, constantly learning from them as well, because we all make mistakes no matter how knowledgeable we are. We all need guidance. Coaches need coaching. We all need accountability and just that little bit of motivation and kick in the backside to get us where we want to be. And my motivation has always been, I was always a competitive type. I played golf a good bit, but I kind of drifted away from that because it's quite time consuming, and I already, the gym and work is already quite time consuming. So I have my hobbies, and I'm able to then enjoy the personal life then outside of the gym and give that sole time to my wife as well. And when I'm not training, when I'm not working, you're never not working when you're an online coach, because there's always questions coming in, there's always messages coming in, execution clips, etc. So you're always giving advice to those people, and that's what I love. So it doesn't actually feel like a job. But when I am not technically working, when I'm not in front of the laptop or that, I tend to just give myself time back to my loved ones, and especially that being my wife, considering we are the only, we are living up here and our family is basically back down home in the middle of Ireland. And again, it's something that we probably will have an ambition of later in 2026, is moving back closer to home, moving back closer to family, or maybe we might even move out of the country, God knows. But again, it's all ahead of us, and we can make those decisions as well as time goes on. But so when it comes to my journey and what I'm looking at doing at the minute, my training day and rest days are basically quite similar. I train 5 days per week, and this is just at the minute. And my current weight, I suppose we'll start off with the weight, is as of this morning 88.7 kilos. On training days I am on 6 meals a day, and rest days 5 meals. I rest 2 days per week and I train 5 days. Obviously that makes the 7. So I train Monday to Friday. At the minute, my body's quite used to that. I train so fucking hard. It's easy for me to say that. We all say that as bodybuilders, but I do. And again, I'd have no problem saying that to the camera. Literally, if Connor was right here beside me, he'd be able to say my intensity, my passion, everything is there, and my concentration when I'm in the gym is everything. My form may not always be the best. I always try and improve that. We always send across clips to Connor, and again, I always make sure that I try and improve that. And that was the same with my previous coaches, but sometimes it just didn't click with me, and sometimes it'll take me a bit longer to maybe adjust to certain feelings and certain movement cues. And we all need, it's like that feel versus real type of thing. So if we can get the right cue into my head, I'm able to execute perfectly, because, as I said, the intensity is there, the want to do it is there. And I suppose that's something that we all need, is that want to do something hard. When we do it, it feels amazing, but we don't want to do it in the middle at that time. So that's something that we always work on, is the effort in terms of the form. It works out normally as Mondays chest and lats, Tuesdays at the minute is shoulders and arms. I had to think there. Wednesday is lower, and it's mainly quad focused at the minute because my glutes are quite strong. So we really want to get those glutes and adductors built up a little bit more, the quads and adductors built up a little bit more. My glutes remain quite lean most of the time, and I remain quite lean by nature, even when I'm somewhat heavier. I consider myself quite heavy right now, but I suppose in a few years we will be pushing it up a little bit higher again. and who knows what might happen. But basically that is and then Friday, Thursdays is pull, and then Fridays is another push session. Push session. My SHs are brutal. Saturday and Sundays are rest and recover and basically enjoy time with my loved ones. And Sundays then is basically, shopping day, prep day, all to do it all again for the week. And again, that's something that I love. I love routine, I love structure, and that's something maybe a lot of us lack from time to time. But I've always stuck to that, because when I have actual, people think they're a lot calmer when they have maybe no structure, so to speak, that they love spontaneity and things like that. But I would be lost without routine, without doing that same Groundhog Day every single day. But I have clients and I have people that I work with that do not want that. They want a little bit of variety, or they want a different meal every evening, or their dinner is the same or something. But they really do like the change, which is fine as well, and we can always make that work. And that's what a good coach is about, is making things work to suit people's lives rather than it being a task to them. I always want to make sure that exercise and routine and accountability is an addition to their life, mentally and physically. And then after that, my own journey, and then we are literally, as of today, it is the 30th of December 2025. In about 10 to 12 days time, I will be going for bloods on the 10th of January, I think it is. I can have to check that again, 10th of January. And then from the blood results, then we are going straight into prep. Once everything is healthy and nicely ready and primed, and the body is good, because as we all know, as bodybuilders, as anybody, a healthy body is a responsive body, and we want to make sure that we get the most out of the body as we can, so we can be the best we can come the 26th of April for PCA Derry. I will be competing in the bodybuilding tall class, for the simple reason is I'm obviously just in the tall category. I'm 5'11", and I think it's 5'9" or 5'10" is when you break into the tall category in PCA. I am going the open class because I don't have a classic waist, and I do not want to hide my legs when it comes to the work I've put into them. So men's physique would not be an answer. Maybe I am totally on my depth. I don't really care, because I love the lifestyle. I don't have that fucking classic narrow waist. I have a bodybuilding waist, and that's the way it is. I have a decent waistline. I can hold condition quite well, as I said, but and I can push a lot of food. I have no cardio at the minute. It's just steps, and my average steps at the minute is about 15,000 a day. It may be quite high for some, but I suppose I'm able to get them in, and the nature of my job allows me to work at a desk. I have a walking pad if I do fall behind on steps, or and then I have the luxury of being able to make my meals, being close by to the gym. The gym is about 12 minutes from my home, and then from there then work with in-person clients as well in the same gym that I train in. But I really enjoy the routine, as I said, and I'm pushing quite high calories at the minute. As I said, we will be probably starting to taper down once the bloods come back. We'll be ramping up other things, as we all know, and basically we'll be making sure that we get the most out of as little as possible. And then if needs be, if the body isn't responding, we can ramp things up a little bit more intensely. But again, I suppose I trust the process. I know how to remain a little bit calmer now and things, so we will see how we go. And as I said, lads, this is just basically, lads and lassies, this is basically me just, I suppose, an introductory to who I am, and what I love and what I do. And I would love if you subscribe and literally join me on this journey. I will be going into a 16-week prep, as I said, of next week. It will be more so 14 weeks, because we want to, I suppose, keep food as high as possible. But if we can come in a little bit early, so the mid when we're about 9-10 weeks out, we will be in the depths of it. So we can come in maybe 2 weeks nicely primed, and that is the roadmap at the minute. with Connor and our plan. So obviously that's subject to change, it's subject to how the body reacts, and who knows, as I said, the plan maybe then is to compete the following week on the 2nd of May in PCA Oldham. But for now, we will stay in Ireland. We'll be going up to Northern Ireland to Derry on the 26th of April show. And basically from there then we will assess it as the weeks go on, whether we will do Oldham in the novice category, but we will see how that goes. But for now, as I said, it's PCF first timers in the 26th of April. I really hope that you enjoy the ride along the way. I hope you subscribe. I hope you keep in touch. Drop comments, ask questions, literally inquire about coaching, anything like that. I am more than happy to hop on a call, and have a chat with people. I'm very open, but I'm also passionate. I don't care who you are, whether you're a top level bodybuilder and somehow you want to sign up with me. I'd love that, because I just need that chance to prove that I have the knowledge. I may not have stepped on stage yet, but I've learned so much and I've listened to so much and asked so many questions that I know I can be a top level coach. I know I can be the best for other people and bring the best, whether, as I said, you're a top level bodybuilder or you're preparing for a photo shoot, you're a high rocks athlete, you're literally training for a marathon, right down to just getting the basics, whether you're a beginner. I don't care who you are. I want the same thing, and I want you to hit your goals. And that's where I want to hit my goals as well. I am driven to be the best bodybuilder I can be. I train, as I said, so hard. I get so passionate about it, and when I'm in the gym, I'm locked in. I give it everything, and I just want to be a winner. I'm not, as I said, yes, I love the lifestyle and I live the lifestyle. And I suppose I've won already because I get to do that, and I'm fit and healthy enough to do that. And I'm fit and healthy enough to go to the gym every single day. And for that, I thank God for. But I couldn't do it on my own either. As I said, I have great support around me, my loved ones, my coach, and everything like that. I have that support behind me. As I said, follow me along on the journey. As I said, for now we're enjoying 5,500 calories in training days and 5,000 on rest days, and I have no problem in getting those meals in. But stay tuned. As I said, Mike is my name. Coach Mike, if you want to follow me, I'll drop the link in the description for my Insta. I'll drop a link in for my WhatsApp inquiry form for coaching, and basically literally ask me any questions and get to know me. I want to get to know you. I want to come on here and have chats. I want to show you exactly maybe what I make, whether I make a fucking Ninja Creamy or I just making my usual cream of rice for meal 1 or 2. That's basically me, and I just want to, I suppose, be the best and show you the best possible footage. My editing skills will not be the best early on, so please bear with me with that. I will get better, I promise that as well. But be patient with me and enjoy the ride. Here's to the next 16 weeks, guys, and beyond then, obviously, from now on, now that I have my little Osmo with me, I will be recording and vlogging as much as I can, when I can. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.